So hey there, beautiful people. I am all about health and wellness. So in 2018, I'm going to talk about a lot of different subjects that will benefit you. And today I am not talking nutrition, I am talking about movement. And this is movement for every single person watching, whether you're a non-exerciser and you just kind of think about it and then the thought leaves you, or you're an avid exerciser. This video is for you, so just hang with me and it's coming right up. So hey there, this is Lindy Ford, registered dietitian, clinical and licensed nutritionist, and nutrition detective. Just this morning, I had a patient in my office and she said to me that she belongs to two gyms. She belongs to a gym that is like a 24-hour one, and she also belongs to one that's really close to her house. And she hasn't been to either one of them in a long time. Now, this is a person who is not lazy. She works really hard, and like so many of my people, she just doesn't have time to go. And so I worked out something with her to help her to get into a regular movement exercise program that may include the gym and may not include the gym. And I am going to give you some of those secrets today. But here's what I want to say to all of you. This is not all about weight loss. This weight loss is not the primary goal here, folks, with exercise. If you were 110 pounds wringing wet and underweight, I would tell you to exercise for so many different reasons, and I'll go into that in another video, just really the science behind that and the research behind that, but just a few benefits. These are just the short list, right? So exercise, the studies are definitive about lowering the risk of almost every major disease, especially cancer. I don't think we really get that. And that, you don't need to be overweight to exercise to prevent cancer and heart disease and diabetes. Also, to increase your mood. Working with nutrition is so important to increase mood. It's like as good as an antidepressant medication, guys. And also it enhances sleep. It benefits your aging process, and it benefits the aging process, meaning that it is anti-aging. I just could go on, and I won't, but you get it, right? You get it that everybody should be exercising, but I'm not telling you have to be in a gym for an hour a day. So we're going to make this really work for every kind of person. Some of the best advice that I have for you for movement in this year, in 2018, is really stop using motivation. I hear this all the time. Well, I'm going to get motivated, or I really feel motivated to do that. And I think, well, that's okay for this moment, but motivation is really a killer, guys. It's actually not your friend. Don't ever use motivation. Motivation will come after you do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing on a consistent basis. Then you'll feel motivated, but never use motivation. You just do it. You just become Nike, and you just do it, and motivation is going to follow, because motivation is like just a finicky teenager. It could be there for you, and it might not be there for you. So please don't use that. I always think that it's best to exercise, at least do something, even 5 minutes in the morning. It's important because your day gets crazy, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. And I don't really like to depend primarily, I know this is just going to sound scandalous, for the gym or it's going outside for exercise. The other thing I want to tell you that is that really your weight loss and your health is about, I hate to say this, and I know it sounds biased, but about 80% nutrition. Okay, yes, stress goes into that, and exercise is so important. But I mean, I've had personal trainers. I actually had two personal trainers come up to me at a conference and say that to me, and I was shocked, because that's their livelihood is exercise. And they said, "No, Lindy, we really believe that nutrition is the bigger part of health." So again, I want you to exercise. I don't care what shape you are. I don't care. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can exercise. And other than, and because that exercise doesn't mean that you're always going to have to do 50 burpees in a row or push-ups. Okay, so we're going to really make this work for you. So I realize that there are a lot of people out there, and so I'm going to go through 3 categories. I want to address everyone, and I think that these 3 categories will address that everyone. So we have our non-exercisers, and these non-exercisers, hey, listen. You guys know who you are. Just be honest. Like, really, you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. But what I want to say to you is I know you're not lazy. It's not laziness. It's normally what I find with my non-exercisers, because they're waiting for all the stars to align, for them not to have anything to do, and it's going to be a bright sunny day, 72 degrees, and everything is just going to be perfect before they exercise. And I understand that, but most of the time, non-exercisers, it's just because you're too busy. You're just too busy to exercise. But please don't use that as an excuse. Here's what I want you to do, and don't think I'm crazy. Don't think I'm crazy. All I want you to do, my non-exercisers, the ones that once in a while you get around to it or you feel the motivation to do it, right? I want you to exercise 5 to 10 minutes a day, preferably in the morning, and I don't want you to depend on a gym. Okay, because so often I hear this, especially at the beginning of the year, I'm hearing it from some of my people already, like, oh, now it's time to get into the gym. No, because if you're not going to stick with something, don't do it. Don't start it, because honestly and truly, good intentions are your enemy. Good intentions are your enemy, because here's what good intentions do. They get you going for a little while, or they make you think that you've done something and you haven't, and your guilt has been alleviated, but you haven't done a jackrip thing. So don't have a good intention, just do it. Just be Nike and do it. So here's what I want you to do, you non-exercisers. I want you in the morning to do 5 minutes of getting your heart rate up. I want you to get your heart rate up. Now, I think the best way to do this is with an exercise video. I've used thousands of them in my time. I like the ones that vary the workout every day. Right now I'm doing a combination one of some lady doing abs with all different types of weights, and she's doing cardio and all these different things. But then also I do a T25, which is 25 minutes of high intensity exercise. Here's the thing, even if you're going to use you non-exercisers, you cannot start out doing a full exercise. You're going to hurt yourself, okay? You need to do stretches. But even if you're going to do a high intensity, I would do that modifier. I would do that person who always keeps themselves on the floor and doesn't jump and just gets their heart rate up. 120 beats per minute is where you want to go eventually with this. You might not want to start out that way. And of course, you always want to speak to your physician before you start any kind of exercise program. But what that does is it gets you in the habit, and the habit is more important than if you're hitting the gym every day for 50 minutes or an hour a day, and then like 6 months, 3 months down the line, you're not doing anything. That is self-defeating, so don't do that. Then we have our second category, which is our semi-consistent. Now, these people are a little bit better. They do exercise once in a while, maybe 2-3 times a week, but it's kind of hit or miss. It depends on what's going on in their life. They kind of get to the gym when they can, or they go out walking, or they might do something in their home. They might jump in place or do some jump ropes or whatever, and that's great. And I'm really proud of them. But what I want to say is, let's make it consistent. Again, what I want you to do, the hit or miss people, the people that are, they're semi-exercisers, is I want you to go at it like at least 5 to 6 days a week. But again, I want it to be in the morning and 5 to 15 minutes a day. I want that consistency. I want you to develop consistency this year. Now, the last group of people, and this kind of actually, all of this ties together, because what I'm going to say to the last group of people, other groups can do this as well. But what I want you to do, so these are the regular exercisers. You know who you are. You're the people that are out running every day, or you're the people that really hit it every single day. You're great at going to the gym. You're great at really sticking with it, and you do it at least 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, so I'm so proud of you. Keep it up, keep it up. But here's what I want to say to you. And I was talking to my friend Jennifer about this yesterday. So I was so proud of her. She is doing 40 different marathons in her 40th year. So she's turning 40 this year, or did turn 40. So she's actually going to be doing, she's been working on this and doing virtual ones, not every single weekend. And even she told me, she said, you know, I try not to run more than 3 times a week. Now, I thought that was really wise, because here's what I've seen with the consistent exercisers. They pick one exercise and they just do that one exercise. The body doesn't like that, guys. Actually, the body does better. You need a rest state in between, or what you need is switching it up. You do cardio one day, then you do flexibility, you do stretching. That's what I do. I do a hard-hitting cardio, 25-minute cardio workout. The next day, I'm going to do some stretching or some weightlifting or something different every single day. It's called muscle confusion or interval work. You know, it's kind of like part of interval workouts. And you want to do that because that will get you results faster and it'll be more effective, and you're working every part of your body. It's kind of, I see like these guys, like, right? Have y'all seen them? They go to the gym and they work out like every day with weights, right? And they get these big, huge, I don't really like that look, to be honest with you, those huge, big, fat muscles, and it's okay, but they're not flexible. They haven't been working, you know, yes, weightlifting is great for the heart, but it's not balanced. Like, the whole body hasn't been worked out because they're not doing their yoga or their Pilates or their flexibility or their stretches. And I just think it's so important. So you avid exercisers may want to try that and switching it up and confusing those muscles. So the big takeaway, and that's actually for all of the groups. So you want to be doing something different every single day. So there's a method to my madness, right? And that is, I want you to develop a habit. I want this to be until you're 90 years old. You're not going to stop. You know, they say that gym memberships, that you can't get into the parking lot in January, February, March, and then there's nobody there the rest of the year. And I just don't know if that's a good thing. Gyms are wonderful, but that's kind of like, is like the extra part. Have that foundational workout in the morning, even if it's just 5 minutes. And if you can get to another workout, if you can get to a class, I love that, because you can do it with other people. I wish I had time for that. I don't have time for that. I want to do that, but I don't have time right now. But anyway, you can. That's great to do that. But let's say that you don't feel good that day, or let's say that something happens later on in the day, you're not able to get to it. Or if you just depend on running, or you depend on walking outside, what if it's too cold, or what if it's raining, or what if there's just so many variables. And having that consistent time in the morning, especially with an exercise video, because then you don't feel like you're all alone, is going to be so helpful for you. So I hope that is helpful. What I want you to do right now is, first of all, subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. We'd love to have you. I am going to be consistently posting in 2018, and I'm just excited about all of these topics that I'm going to be hosting on. So please comment below what you want to hear. I really will read them, and I'll comment back to you. But also, please subscribe to the channel, and also, if you could, like me on Facebook, Lindy Ford Nutrition and Wellness, and also follow me on YouTube and Twitter. I'd love that as well. And just remember that everyone deserves the freedom to live in optimal health. And thank you for joining me today. This is Lindy, and I'll see you in the next video.